Lists are a sequence of one or more different or similar data types. A list in Python is essentially a dynamic array that can hold any data type. Let's move to the console and I'll demonstrate some practical examples of Python lists. First, I'll go through a few examples of declaring lists. I create my list by typing list1 equals, and then the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within brackets and separated by commas because you use commas to separate items in a list. List2 is a list of strings, A, B, C. I can also have a list of different data types. For example, in my list 3, I can have a string, an integer, a boolean, and a float. The type doesn't necessarily matter, it's just going to be stored in the same way. One thing to keep in mind with lists is that they are based on an index. For example, let's suppose I wanted to access the number 3 from my list 1 example. Since the index always starts with 0, I'd have to write list 1 too. This gets the third item in the list, which is number 3. If I do print that, I get the value of 3 being printed out. An important option with lists is that you can also have nested lists. If I declare another list, for example, list 4, and I put in 1, then I can have a nested list of 2, 3, and 4, and then get back to a 5 and 6. That's completely valid as well. Any data type can be stored within the list itself, just to keep that in mind. Let's see what else lists can do. I've got a few different options to add items to a list. One is to use the insert function. Just before I do that, I'll just do a print. To print out the entire list, there are a couple of different ways I can do it. I can use the star sign list1, click on Run, and I get the entire list printed out. To print it the way it is displayed in my code, I can use the print statement type in list1 and just putting a separator equals and then comma with just single space. I click on Run, and I get this type of prints returned. Back to adding something new to the list. The first option that I have is what's called the insert function. I can do list1.insert. What it looks for is the index of where to insert to. Here I can use the len or len function to get the length of the list1. Then I put in what the next value should be. In this case, I put it in number 6. I do the same print statement directly underneath that. Then click on Run, and I find that I get 6 added to the end list. I can also use another function called append. Instead of having to specify the index or where the items should be placed, I can just put it in the append keyword. I type append 6 and click on Run, and it's added in without having to specify the index. There is another function I can use if I wanted to add one or more items to the list. It's called extend. This will accept a list as well. I can put an extend 6, 7, 8, 9, and then click on Run, and then my list is extended with 6, 7, 8, and 9. To remove something from a list, there are a few different options. The first way is to use pop, and then specify the index or location of which item I want to remove. To demonstrate pop, I'll say pop4 for index 4. I click on Run, and the last item from the list is removed. Remember, within the list, the index always starts at 0. Index 4 means the 5th item being the value 5, and that's what has been removed. Another option is the delete or del keyword. I can say del list 1 and then specify the index to delete. In this case, I put in the index of 2, click on Run, and the index 2 is removed, which in this case is the number 3. 2 is the number 3. Lastly, I can iterate through a list. One of the main reasons I use lists is that I can iterate through the values and gain access to large amounts of data. To iterate, I can use a simple for loop. So the X in list 1, and then I can do a simple printout. I'll just remove this one underneath. I'd like to print out the value of X. I just put in print value and then X. When I click on Run, it will print all values of the list. That's a brief demonstration of what you can accomplish using list in Python. You just covered how a list in Python works as a dynamic array. You explored lists and learned how to use inbuilt functions of a list to access the list items, modify them, add to the list, and remove items from the list.